Well, what I have to say isn't easy, but it is very effective and extremely transformative. Just like I, as a little boy, had to distinguish between an abusive father and a non-abusive father, every human being needs to distinguish between ugly perceptions of the character of God that are power-based and say, no, God's not like that. God's not like the abuse I experienced. God's not like an abusive father or an abusive mother or an abusive uncle. God's not like the Roman Empire. God is love. And the love that defines the identity of God, the healing truth of the gospel is that God knows everything about you and simultaneously loves you. And that being perfectly known and perfectly loved simultaneously, that's where healing resides. So you're going to be healed from whatever abusive relationships that you've experienced in this life, like I experienced a lot of that insanity. You're going to be healed to the degree that you imbibe and take on board love as the primary relational operating system of humanity in relation to God rather than coercion and force. So it's not easy. It's not an easy answer. It requires a kind of psychological replacement therapy where you have to look long and deep and for your whole life, actually. You know, you don't just eat breakfast once, 10 years ago and you're good to go. You have to constantly be, bringing into your psychological and emotional makeup ideas and concepts of the love of God, the goodness of God, the beauty of God's character. And gradually the good news of God's love will take up all the emotional space inside of you and crowd out all notions of coercion and force as a legitimate operating modality.
And you would definitely say this is a gift that keeps on giving. This is a gift that comes from God. This is what we get from Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus wasn't just given to the human race for a few years. He was permanently given to humanity.
Yes. He came into the world to give us the gift of non-coercive love as the only viable relational dynamic.
Wow.
Yeah.